All right, guys, let's get to our next topic, brought to us by Mazda. For those who keep the game moving forward, it's not just about playing the game, it's about redefining it, because these moments do more than win. They push what's possible, reminding us to go that extra yard, shift into that extra gear, and keep the game moving forward. When you follow what moves you, the unexpected is only the beginning. And just like there's more to every highlight, there's more to every Mazda. Mazda, move, be moved. Jay, the Browns did not ask Dillon Gabriel to do much yesterday.
Right.
It was a very basic game plan. They ran the ball significantly more than they passed it. The final numbers for Gabriel, incredibly pedestrian, 13 for 18 for 116 yards, a 6.4 yard per completion average, no touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked twice. He had a quarterback rating of 89 and a total QBR of 23.5. People afterwards were jumping into conclusions, good, bad, whatever it was, in terms of how this game impacted their evaluation of Dillon Gabriel. So I wanted to ask this question to you guys, and I'll let this roll however it goes. Was there anything to take away from yesterday that should impact what you thought of Dillon Gabriel prior to yesterday's game? Did we learn anything about Dillon Gabriel, good, bad, indifferent, from what he did against the Dolphins?
I think there's always something to be learned, and there were little things. His sacks are bad sacks. The sack he took, it was the second sack he took. He didn't even move. He might as well have been Joe Flacco. I mean, move off your spot when the pocket is collapsing. And I don't know if that's a lack of pocket awareness. I'm not sure, but I know he was not that guy in Oregon. I remember when Ohio State played him, he was slippery. He was hard to get to. And maybe he hasn't gotten to that confidence level yet. I'm not sure. I do want to go back and look at everything that went on in that play. I haven't done that yet. So I wasn't impressed with the sack that he took, the second one that he took. I don't want to jinx anything, but he hasn't thrown an interception.
Well, didn't he throw a pick that got overturned?
He did, but
a terrible call.
Technically, he hasn't thrown a pick.
No. He should have 5, but somehow he has 0.
And you know what? Those all come out in the wash. So later, when he gets the ball intercepted that goes off his wide receiver's hands, like the Green Bay and Cincinnati thing. No, you shouldn't have won against Green Bay. And you should have won against Cincinnati. It's a long season. Over the course of the season, as the sample size goes up, all those things will regress to the mean. But for me, I think what he was allowed, what Stefanski was allowed to do yesterday was he wants to slow walk this kid, clearly. And that's what he's doing. He's giving him baby-sized bites. He's not overwhelming him with the entire playbook. He's not asked to throw deep. He's basically executing an extended run game. And so far, he hasn't screwed that up, which is good because the way you get more is to handle what they're giving you. And so far, I feel like he has executed what they've given him. I know he was 13 of 18. I know there were at least 2 drops, and I mean drops that were absolute drops. And then suddenly, if those are catches, he's 15 of 18. And I know maybe there was a ball or 2 caught that shouldn't have been caught. But he hasn't impressed me. He certainly hasn't deserved to get the bench, but there are little things there. I'm sure that the coaching staff they're honing in on things that can make him better.
I think his best game is Minnesota.
That's fair. That's fair.
And that's a little odd because that was when I was like, man, I don't know. It's a disrupted practice week. He's making his first start. I thought he looked better against Minnesota than he has in either last 2. Yesterday, again, going back, they had the conversation on Thursday where they put in the Wildcat because they were afraid of the weather. They were concerned about the weather with the rain and the high winds. So clearly that tells you the entire game plan was built around the weather.
Yeah.
And they were trying to just not put him in harm's way. And there was nothing stand out about his performance yesterday. I think one of the fence rider questions was, will he have a turnover? I said yes.
I did too.
I thought he would because you can't live the way he was living in Pittsburgh. That's going to catch up
and with the weather.
Yeah.
You'd expect.
And certainly he should have had a pick yesterday. He got totally bailed out on that call. That was terrible.
Yeah, I didn't understand that call either.
Terrible
Why
call.
in the hell did they make that call that pass interference?
So it is what it is. Like, listen, he's a third-round pick. I don't think the plan was ever for him to be playing this early. When they drafted him on draft night, I don't think anybody thought inside that building that he was going to be the starting quarterback by October, but they're making the best of what they can with the situation that they're in, and that means a lot of seatbelts and guardrails.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was, as I was watching the game, I was like, man, you know what? This good dude came and cut my grass. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a little too high, though, man. I told my wife that she might want to get the lawnmower out, but then again, she got allergies. So I went in the phone book, and you say, G. Bush, what are you talking about? Those are the things that I think about when Dillon Gabriel was playing quarterback.
So he didn't capture your attention.
Yeah, no, it's mid. I mean, it's below mid, actually, to be honest with you.
It's below average, did you think?
Well, look, there was another play where he threw the ball, and I thought it was an interception because it went right through the defender's back.
I don't know how it was an interception. It looked like he threw it through the guy's body.
I said the same thing. I said to Zach in the press box, they caught that? I thought that was
I thought it was too.
Yeah. So he has
a good DB too.
He has a lot of turnover-worthy throws. I look at it from a perspective. It doesn't change what I think. I think if you need Dillon Gabriel to come into a game and he's your backup, he can give you a chance to tread water, and he's not going to kill you too much, right?
Yeah.
I think he can learn what you want to do, but in terms of being a franchise quarterback, I didn't see it coming out of college. I kind of don't see it now. And I've always said the judge of a really good quarterback and what you want to look for, in my opinion, is I'm looking 10 to 25 yards downfield. What are you doing in your throws 10 to 25? Every quarterback can do the dink and dunk stuff, but we saw with Joe Flacco what it looks like when you do have somebody that is able and willing to put the ball downfield. It opens other things up in terms of the running game. Quinshon Judkins is, they playing everybody in the phone booth with him.
I'm surprised they threw 5 passes more than 10 yards downfield. I don't remember them.
His average depth of target for most of the game was under 3 yards.
Well, 8 passes were behind the line of scrimmage.
It was 2.3, and then I think it finished at like 4.8. Yeah. But for most of the game, his average depth of target was less than 3 yards.
And that's the thing is, I want to evaluate this kid, but if they just keep spoon feeding him, it's hard. Because to your point, G, anybody can make. He was 8 of 8 on throws behind the line of scrimmage. Well, those are gimmies.
That's not going
to take those out, and he's 5 of 10.
But there's so many holes in the dam. All right, well, let him drop back and let it rip with terrible tackles.
I know, and no wide receivers open.
You know how that's going to end.
And so I guess this is the way it's going to look. This is it. You better run it.
And I'll say this. You can win football games, and you can praise the Browns for winning a game that they should win, but you can also critique the quarterback play and say that's not going to be sustainable. If he continues to play that way, sooner rather than later, they're going to sit down and say, all right, we're going to Shedeur Sanders and see what he got.
First of all, this was a hard game to watch. I mean, it was boring as hell.
Yeah, it was
especially once the Browns got the pick 6 to start the second half, you knew the game was over. Even as bad as the Browns have been, you're like, the Dolphins are not doing anything here. It was so boring. You had the Chris Bryant of broadcasters calling the game, Spiro Ditas.
Oh, they went in the time machine talking about the 2017 times. I said, this game is over.
Spiro Ditas hit the scene like a house of cards, and now he's
and Archuleta kept talking about how he really feels sorry for this fan base. His wife's parents are from here, and it felt like a pity party for the Browns.
God. But, and then they were just going on and on about the quarterbacks, even though the quarterbacks really didn't do anything. It was weird. But anyway, in terms of Dillon Gabriel, again, it's you hate to go overboard because it's 3 games. It's 3 games with a crappy supporting cast. So it's hard to give a full evaluation of him. But I'm going to say what I've said the last 2 weeks and what I've said all along. I don't see anything in this guy that makes me think he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. I'll admit it's not fair because he hasn't played enough and he doesn't have good talent around him. But I just feel like if you had that quarterback, you'd see it a little, right? Wouldn't you?
You should see something.
There's nothing with this guy. Again, he's not terrible, but there's nothing I've seen with this guy in the preseason and training camp and in the season so far that makes me think he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. That's it.
Which means we're back to square one at the end of the year.
Well, we'll see once Shedeur Sanders gets his shot, but clearly he's not ready yet, or at least they think he's not ready. So we'll see. It was interesting that I will save it for later because we're talking about Shedeur later.
Okay.
So go ahead.